any time during this quarantine that you flipped the television on and have seen an old game of yours that you were playing in? Have you seen any?
No.
Has that happened at all, Terry, to you?
That has not happened. I mean, that's the internet, though. The internet always sent me old clips and all that stuff, but on TV, it doesn't get played that often. I was caught up in the whole Last Dance thing, man. Holy cow. Every weekend, I was glued to the TV, brother.
What'd you learn from that one?
You know what I learned, man, is, you know what, and this is I had already learned this stuff, I mean, when I played in the NFL, but one thing I learned is that, you know, what is successful in sports is not necessarily successful in life. You know what I mean? Like, people think that there's a sports attitude, yeah, that's the way to do it, and all of a sudden you'll be more successful in life. But a lot of times this stuff leads to things that I had to get rid of. You know what I mean? Like the whole competition aspect, the grudges, the fights, the whole thing. I'm like, man, you know, I'm glad I'm out of that, to be honest with you. It just reminded me of a lot of really pettiness that I had to really get out of my life. This is a very, very petty show.
That's
I tell you that right
fascinating. Now. By the way, with you now working in Hollywood, saying that there's a scene more petty than that, that's a headline. Number one, but
Hollywood's the same way. It is. I mean, Hollywood and sports are. But again, people think. Remember, you got to understand. People think that successful actor. Oh my God, he must be a successful person. But let me tell you, we got 50 million examples of how that does not work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's the same way. And my thing is that really, really, it's all about how you finish. You know what I mean? A lot of people put a lot of play on how you start. But to me, it's always been like, right now at 52 years old, I wouldn't go back to 21 or anything. I didn't know anything. But at the time, hey, he's on his way to NFL. He's doing all this great stuff. But it's really how you finish, brother. That's really what that makes the difference.
Well, I mean, you're touching on a few things. I want to pull on some of these strands with you, Terry. So when you say pettiness when you were playing and that you had to get rid of it, are you saying that this is the stuff that you thought you needed to do in order to succeed, and then you realized as you were getting out of sports that you didn't? I'm wondering what exactly are you referring to when you say that?
I am referring to I had, you know, there are certain duels that you get. You feel like you have to beat a certain person in order to make it. You know, I remember this is strange. I remember getting into fights on the bus in the NFL, you know what I mean? And people were, you know, we would get mad at each other and the whole deal. And you carry those grudges, you know what I mean? Even for years, even after it's gone. And then you look back and you realize, and I have to be honest, the person that I was fighting on that bus is gone. He's dead. And you realize, wait a minute, man, you know, there's things that are bigger than this. You know, because that game at one time was the biggest thing ever, but everybody's on to the new stuff. You know what I mean? If you're still holding on to this stuff, it can really, really wreck you. You know, and that's the example that's one example of the pettiness that you can carry. That you realize, man, I'm mad against somebody who's not even here anymore. You know what I mean? So you got to just let it go.
Well, I mean, Jordan, Terry Crews here on the Rich Eisen Show. When you're talking about The Last Dance, it seems to me that when he would hold on to, he's still holding on to stuff. I mean, in a man in his late 50s with all the trophies in the case, and he's won in the way that we are viewing his style and the way he would deal with his teammates or talk to them or be with them, that we lionize it because he has 6 trophies. Right.
Right. So first of all, you got to know, I love Michael Jordan for what he is, and I love everything about him. But then when you look at, the thing between him and Isaiah or him and Horace Grant, and you just wish they could all go out and have a lemonade, you know what I mean, and relax. It's like, dude, you guys have made it. You guys have won. And any bit of, and hopefully, I'm hoping that, behind the scenes that they were able to get together, but to hear that him and Isaiah have something at each other, because I grew up in Michigan with Isaiah Thomas, you know what I mean? And I loved Isaiah at the same time as I loved Jordan. And to see that, they're not getting along, hopefully. In the show, it looked like they didn't get along. And you just want people to be at peace with each other because you got to realize life is short, man. It's really, really short.
So are you saying, Terry, that that's not lemonade in that tumbler next to Jordan during The Last Dance?
Let's just say it's ice cold water. Let's just say
something,
that.
Yeah. could be some form of aid. I don't know. But it's funny.
But we can all get caught into that, Rich.
Right.
Listen, I've been in there. I'm guilty. I'm not sitting here saying Jordan is. There are things that my wife has called me on. She's like, dude, you need to let that go. That was back when you were playing and all this stuff. And I'm like, you're right. You know what I mean? These are things that creep back up. And if you don't really do the due diligence of looking at examining your own thinking, you can be trapped by some of that stuff, man. And it doesn't matter how much money you make or how successful you are.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.